I never thought that one night, one simple misunderstanding, would be the thing that broke a 7-year marriage. But looking back now, maybe it wasn't that night that broke us. Maybe it was just a night I finally stopped pretending everything was okay. My name's Jeff, and this is a story of how I lost my marriage, but found my peace. Kelly and I got married in our late 20s. We were young, hopeful, and ready to build a future together. The first few years were fine. Not perfect, but good. We laughed, took trips, planned the future. I thought we were solid. But somewhere along the way, maybe around year 4, things started to fade. Slowly. Quietly. It's like watching an old photograph lose its color. You don't notice it happening until one day. Everything looks washed out. Our conversations turn into transactions. When's the bill due? Did you pick up groceries? Can you take the trash out? It wasn't love anymore. It was logistics. Affection disappeared. Arguments became routine. And her tone started cutting deeper than any words could. Still, I kept trying. I worked hard, paid the mortgage, handled our finances, and told myself this was just a phase. Kelly worked part-time, said she wanted less stress. I supported that. I wanted her to feel happy, fulfilled, but instead, she started playing games, emotional ones. If I forgot to pick something up or made plans without asking her, she'd give me the silent treatment. If I didn't apologize fast enough, she would hold affection. And me, I gave in every single time because I thought that keeping the peace meant keeping the marriage. Then came that night in late September. I'd been working late, project deadlines, endless calls, permit issues. It was almost 8 p.m. when I walked through the door, exhausted. I dropped my bag, headed for the shower, and just as I started to feel the day wash off me, I heard my phone ringing. By the time I got out, Kelly was standing in the bedroom, holding it. Her face was cold. She asked, "Why is Samantha calling you this late?" I froze. Samantha? She worked in accounting. We talked about project budgets, expense reports, invoices, nothing personal. I told Kelly it was probably about a payroll clarification. She didn't believe me. She crossed her arms and said, "Normal co-workers don't call each other at 9 at night." I sighed. I was too tired for this. I tried to explain that deadlines don't care about clocks, that Samantha probably just needed quick info. But Kelly wasn't listening. Her eyes narrowed, her voice sharper now. "You're acting like I'm crazy for asking a question." Then she hit me with an ultimatum. "You can sleep on the couch until you learn how to talk to me with respect, and until you apologize for another woman calling you this late." That was the moment. Right there. That was when something inside me finally broke. For years, I'd apologized to end arguments I didn't start. I'd taken blame for things that weren't wrong. I'd chosen peace over self-respect. But not this time. I looked her in the eye and said quietly, "If that's what you want, I'll sleep on the couch." The surprise on her face was almost comical. She'd expected me to plead, to chase her forgiveness like I always did. Instead, I walked to the guest room, grabbed a pillow, and shut the door behind me. That first night felt strange, but peaceful. No arguing, no tension, just silence. And for the first time in a long time, I slept, really slept. Kelly didn't like that. The next few days, she started trying to make things uncomfortable. She turned off the Wi-Fi before bed, stopped cooking, moved through the house like I didn't exist. But I didn't react. I started leaving early for work, grabbing breakfast at a diner near my office. After work, I'd eat out or cook something simple alone. I kept sleeping in the guest room, calm, detached, and somewhere in that silence, I started thinking clearly for the first time in years. I saw the patterns, the manipulation, the punishment, the control. Peace in our home had always come at the cost of my self-respect. And I realized something painful but true. I hadn't been happy in a very long time. After a week, I cleaned out the guest room properly, moved my clothes, my books, my laptop, set up a small desk, my PlayStation, even bought navy blue curtains, ones Kelly once vetoed. It started feeling like my own little sanctuary. I slept better, ate better, thought better, and I smiled. Really smiled. Meanwhile, Kelly grew angrier. Her power was slipping. "You're acting childish," she said one night. "Enjoying your little vacation from our marriage? But she was right about one thing. I was happier. For the first time in years, I wasn't walking on eggshells. Weeks passed. The silence between us became something heavy, almost permanent. Then one night, she confronted me in the kitchen. "So this is it? You're throwing away 7 years over one argument." I looked at her and said, "This isn't about one argument, Kelly. It's about years of you controlling every argument. Peace has to go both ways." She called me dramatic, said I was overreacting, but I was done reacting. A few days later, I visited a divorce lawyer. No kids, 7 years married, shared assets. Simple enough. When I signed those papers, my hand didn't even shake. A week later, I left them on our dining table with a note that said, "I'm not angry, just tired of living like a guest in my own home." When she came home and saw them, the look on her face said it all: shock, disbelief, anger. She stormed into the guest room, waving the papers. "What is this, Jeff? You can't be serious." But I was. For the first time in years, I was deadly serious. She thought this was still one of her games, that I'd come crawling back. But I wasn't playing anymore. I told her quietly, "This isn't about Samantha. It's about years of control and silence. You wanted space, you got it. You wanted power, you got that too. Now I just want peace." She went silent. For once, she had no comeback. The following weeks were messy: anger, guilt, bargaining. She brought up our vows, old memories, even threatened to take everything. I didn't care. I just wanted out. A year later, our divorce was finalized. The judge asked if there was any chance of reconciliation. I said no. Kelly hesitated, then whispered the same. And just like that, it was over. I walked out of the courthouse into the Arizona sun, feeling free. Not happy exactly, but light, like I could breathe again. I got a small apartment, nothing fancy, but peaceful. No slammed doors, no silent treatment, no tension, just quiet. I started playing basketball on Tuesday nights, hiking on weekends, discovered new trails, made new friends. Financially, I'd lost a lot, half the house, half the savings, but emotionally, I gained everything that mattered: freedom, self-respect, peace. Sometimes I sit in my apartment at night, book in hand, and think about the cost of peace. People think leaving is weakness. It's not. Sometimes walking away is the strongest thing you can do. Kelly taught me what I don't want in a relationship. She taught me that love without respect is just control wearing a mask, and that the hardest decisions are often the right ones. I didn't leave because I stopped loving her. I left because I finally started loving myself. And that made all the difference. If you've ever been made to feel small in the name of love, remember this: peace is not something you beg for. It's something you choose. And sometimes choosing yourself is the most powerful act of love there is.